I was watching a Crony stream when she started passionately talking about the Layton series.
No, well, I was talking with Iris. I talked about how I really like Professor Layton, and she was like, "Oh, Professor Layton, yeah, Professor Layton is pretty cool." And I was like, "Yeah, I liked it so much that I remember the lines." Sorry, I've been rambling so much.
This got me thinking, it got my cogs turning. I wasn't going to talk about the Shroud incident, but Crony's passion really got to me. It got through to me. Shroud is going to be 0-2 for Game of the Year callouts.
We still got to beat the game. Oh, that was fucking awesome. That was awesome. This game is awesome. I don't want to say this. Because it might piss you off. But it's gonna win Game of the Year. It's gonna. 100%. 1,000%. It's gonna. It has to. There's just if it doesn't, it's rigged. Simply put. What's the competition? Space Marine, but I doubt it. How's a Warhammer game gonna win? I don't know. Fucking Helldivers, Pal World.
For no reason. This is self-inflicted, really. We'll start with this tweet by Dexterdo showing what Shroud said. Shroud has urged fans to vote for Arc Raiders as Game of the Year over Expedition 33. Do not let that game win. Absolutely do not. I was going to really go in on him, but I can't really stay mad at Shroud. So, I'm not going to be too hard on him. We'll get this out of the way. Arc Raiders is not Game of the Year material. Does it deserve some flowers at the Game Awards? For sure. I will be shocked if it does not win anything. People having different opinions on games is beautiful. I could leave it at that. Instead, I want to point out that there should be two ways you should look at something, like a game, a movie, a book, anything, really. At least in terms of when you're reviewing it. One way is how you feel about something, and the second, you should try to understand how others would feel about the same thing. So I've been thinking about this for anime reviews, because when I look at an anime, I'm looking for different things compared to other people. Obviously, we're all looking for different things, but you can still find a way to incorporate how others see something with how you see something. Let me give an example. I'd give Dragon Ball Z as a whole a solid 7. But I understand that other people looking at the series, they give it from an 8 to a 10 because they connect with the characters more, they like the action more, a myriad of different reasons why they give it their scores. That's the nature of opinions. Both of these can occupy the same space. To tie this back to Shroud, Arc Raiders is for sure his game of the year. I can't change that, you can't change that, but this year is a really strong year for games. Blueprints, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Hollow Knight Silksong, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Hades 2, Split Fiction, Silent Hill F, Monster Hunter Wilds. 2025, a really strong year for games. It's going to be a really tough choice at the end of the day. I'm going to be surprised with whatever wins Game of the Year this year. 2025, strong year for games compared to 2024. Let's move on. Let's move it right along. So, Shroud called out Expedition 33 specifically, but that just shows that he hasn't really experienced many games this year. Not many people can play through most of the games that come out in a year, right? If it were possible, the fan vote for the Game of the Year would be more than 10%. But having a council vote cuts through that in a way a fan vote could not. Journalists, they have a unique opportunity. They can play more games than the average person. They have a better macro perspective on games that came out. Let's keep moving it on. Anyway, Myth thought he could get away with it. Arc Raiders is the first PvP game in history of PvP games to properly incorporate PvE into the genre without it feeling clunky, slow, and dumb. This is one of the most alive PvP worlds anyone has ever played in the history of video games. That alone deserves Game of the Year. He meant PvP shooter games here, just to have that out there. Bad take from another content creator. It's more likely than you think. Ultimately, my message here is that I don't want content creators to put their thumb on the scale for these votes. Then, if you let that happen, you get what happened at the Steam Awards last year. Black Myth Wukong, Game of the Year over Balatro. There are several other examples. As soon as the results came out, if you were scrolling through Twitter, you would see that people really weren't feeling it. That's what happens when you get popular vote. People don't have the time to play every game that comes out in a year, and they're already pre-filtered to a specific popular game. So Black Myth Wukong, large audience, a lot of hype around it, and a lot of people on Steam played it. So Black Myth Wukong won the Steam Awards, the Steam Game of the Year. Let's keep going. Let's close out these tabs. Let's listen to this first.
We all have to band together to make this game win. Us multiplayer gamers are the minority, okay? We are the minority being multiplayer gamers, but I believe we can win. I believe. Just need to tell everybody. I've never voted for anything ever, but I think I'm going to vote this year for this game.
Yeah, this is basically what the first tweet was about.
You didn't vote for Elden Ring? No, I've never voted ever. I mean, not like votes actually matter, dude. All the fucking awards are rigged anyway, who cares? When have you ever seen an award that's actually legit?
All awards are rigged. This is a symptom of something else. People are really locked into what they themselves played. They don't look. They see it at a micro level. They don't see it at a macro level. Last year for the Game Awards, I wanted Balatro to win Game of the Year, but as time moved on, initially I did accept Astrobot winning Game of the Year. I think my position on that has strengthened over the year because Astrobot is a love letter to gaming. It's a tribute to games. There are a lot of references chalked into the game, and it's a pretty fun experience. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, this is what I would like to talk about.
Hey, bro, Expedition 33's Game of the Year. Actually play the fucking game before berating it. Fuck ass bitch, suck my balls.
Holy shit, that guy's mad.
I didn't even berate it. I didn't even berate it. I just think single player games always win Game of the Year, and it's bullshit. Fucking like, what, a couple million people play that game? Cool, bro. Where's the tens of millions? Where's the Marvel Rivals 50 plus million people? Fucking suck my dick. Hey, bro, Expedition 33's Game of the Year.
Okay. First, that guy shouldn't have wrote that. You look unhinged. Expedition 33, I do believe, is going to get Game of the Year. That would be like my least surprising Game of the Year winner. Moving on. I get how Shroud feels here, but I don't want a game that will lose service and not be available in 9 years. Looking at 2016 Game of the Year that no longer exists. I don't want that game to win. To close, I want to listen to...
Appreciated almost everything. Now, they fucking hate everything if it's not perfect. It's crazy how much has changed in 5 years. I'll still never forget. I was watching my Valhalla VOD 5 years ago, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and to see how positive my chat was, because I had the chat replay on or whatever, to see how positive it was in 2020 versus playing like Shadows or something now. Crazy. Weird dynamic. Like 5 years ago, people weren't dicks. They were just, they just knew what they didn't like and they didn't say anything about it. Now they're just, everybody's a dick, dude. Everybody's a dick. Online anyway. I mean, even in person, man. People are fucking shitty in person. I don't know what the hell happened in 5 years.
5 years is a long time. I don't want to get too into this, but I don't think people are looking at games for the game right now. They aren't playing it. They aren't experiencing it. They aren't looking into it. They're forming their opinions before the game drops. And when they play it, that opinion that they already formed is already in the back of their heads. So it's informing everything that they do. They're forming their opinions. Their opinions are already solidified by the time they try out the game. And when they try out the game, they go back to their original opinions. And it's sad. I could talk more about that. My entire thoughts on what's going on with game reviews lately could be their own video. But I will just point you to the Birdman's Exposing the Grift series and leave it at that. That is it. Thanks for watching. Remember, dream big, dream safe, good luck, and I'll see you when I see you. Shroud doesn't know, Shroud doesn't know, Shroud doesn't know, Shroud doesn't know, so don't tell Shroud, Shroud doesn't know.